Thanks for stopping by. You're listening to How'd You Sleep?
You know what? As a form of accountability, I'm going to post this. This is the episode that I didn't air because the audio stopped after a certain point. There you go.
My father raised me to believe that good manners will take you where money can't. I cannot tell you how many times over that has proven to be true. Doors have opened merely because I was kind or considerate. And I'm just wowed. I was looking at an outfit and I said, oh, that's for this event. And okay, well, I wore that to that event, and that event opened the door to this event. Not just because I presented well in my talent of singing, but I presented well I was on time for the event. So the person who's an event planner took note of that. They took note of how I was dressed. I didn't have to be instructed on how to act. My presentation, spoke for itself, and then my delivery and execution on top of it. So opened up another door. It's, I've just seen that time and again. It was just a nugget. I've passed that on to particularly kids, younger kids, teenagers. Teenagers don't like to be referred to as kids, but it is a life note, a life lesson that's worth, putting in the pocket. I'm wearing a scarf on the show in particular today, in honor of Diane Keaton. I have admired her work like so many of us for well over 20 years. And one thing when I would see her in interviews that I loved was she was unapologetic about herself. She was unapologetic about her presentation, about her clothing, about her decision to move through life the way she wanted to move. She didn't want to get married. Even though women of her generation were getting married, that wasn't something she wanted to do. So she didn't. She adopted 2 children. She was just so avant-garde. She didn't limit herself to the style expectations of women of the day. She did how she wanted. I noticed in her films, starting probably in the late 90s, that she always had her neck covered. So I'm like, wonder what that is, because every scene, and then in interviews, she was always covered, no matter the time of the year. And in LA, it ain't that cold where you got to be so covered. I remember taking note of that. I never knew if that was a thing. Maybe she had saggy neck and didn't want people to see. Yeah, maybe it became just one of her things. She left us a great body of work. But her just knowing that person has left this plane is just, is for sure a moment of sadness that person has left this physical plane. But it's wonderful to know that she knew that she was loved. She knew that she was appreciated. And she knew that she had left such an impact on the world through film and through her personhood, how she walked in the world. And I love this movie. One of her films that my family and I love, The Family Stone. It's a Christmas movie. And I love in the film, she plays the mom character, and something's going on. I love a film, a play, a television show where, I sound old, a television show, but a show where the elephant is there, but no one ever says there's an elephant. They'll talk about the toes. They'll talk about the skin. They'll talk about its gray, its floppy ears. And she just told story in such a magnificent way. Her body. I remember that was the first time I heard the term physical comedy. She enveloped herself with the script, but she embodied each character. Every character that she played was definitive. You can't put the Father of the Bride version of her into the First Wives Club version of her. You can't put the Godfather version of her into the Because I Said So version of her. They're all different women and all intentional, well executed. She landed it every time. Much she left us with a great body of work. And just knowing that she's no longer here, the movies won't hit the same. I remember, I know, like, I wanted to watch something yesterday and I was really surprised. I had an emotional response. I could not stop crying. Now I'm looking at what time of the month it is, because that could be a thing. But I really think those were actual tears, like from the soul. And sometimes well, I can't say this. I'm aware it doesn't take people to pass for me to know what they mean to me. Diane and Meryl Streep in particular are two of my faves, like longtime faves. Oh gosh, what's her name? Shirley MacLaine. And oh my goodness, Jane Fonda is a late. I'm late to the Jane Fonda party, but I adore Jane Fonda as well. I call them my lights, if you will. I have lights, I have lanterns, I have guides and gurus, and Whoopi is probably among them all, like chief of them all. And Whoopi and Angela. There are some that are no longer here, but Whoopi as well, the way that she incorporates a script into her whole being. And I love a woman who just lives freely. I had an aunt like that. I call them Renaissance women. No matter the time period, they just do what the heck they want to do. And what a testament for someone who grew up kind of confined in a way that you have to live this way and do these things this way. It's so freeing to see this is an option. Doing it your way is all right. And there's such a beauty in it. It's truly a beauty and a freedom. So rest and sleep in sweet peace, Miss Diane. So I cooked, and abroad can cook. I've been cooking for years. My mother is Southern bred. I say Southern bred. She spent her summers in her mother's hometown of Maple Hill, North Carolina. She grew up in Jersey, but my grandmother was Southern bred for her life. And so my mother, not that you have to be Southern bred to cook, I know, but I love to say that. And so those are my roots. And I cooked yesterday, but there's a little something going on with the oven. And so if you don't mind, so I put the heat on low. It was like a little closer to 200 than I usually. From this moment for the next 40 some odd minutes, there is no sound. I really believe in How'd You Sleep, the podcast. I believe in what it's going to do, in what the doors that will open as a result of me coming completely out of my comfort zone and falling in line to what to me seemed like a trend and doing it my way. I feel like there are lives that are going to be changed, including my own. And when you're about to make change, when you're about to make significant change in your life and in other people's lives, there's going to be some sort of detour. And this was a detour. I looked great. My face was cute. And this was 5 a.m. So I am very proud of myself because I am committed to the mission of this podcast. And it is part of my life's mission to fulfill and to execute this podcast. So, this was it. And this just goes on with no audio. I didn't even hit mute. It's just, there's no audio. Take care. Just wanted to show you and be accountable. Be well.
How'd you sleep, baby? How'd you sleep?